Hello and welcome to Drayton Manor. My name's Matt, this is the Coaster Giant channel, and today I've been kindly invited down by the park to check out a new attraction for the 2025 season. This year, Drayton Manor are celebrating 75 years of entertaining the nation with all of their rides and attractions, and they're opening a new walk-through museum that they've invited me to come out and check today. So let's go and see what's happening in this new attraction. I'm pretty excited. I'm kind of thinking it's just going to be a lot of photos and stuff from over the year, but when I was here last week, as you'll have seen in the video if you've watched it, there's some stuff in the 4D theatre from old rides. So maybe we're going to get some photos, maybe we're going to get some old ride parts, maybe some videos and things on the screens, I'm not sure, but we've got to head over there at 11 o'clock and check it out. So let's go and see what's going on in the new attraction at Drayton this year. So we're just outside the full theatre, where last year we had the Roadrunner 4D cinema. This year it's been taken over by the new 75-year anniversary museum. It's a walk-through experience, and look, it's talking about taking our seats, so I'm guessing we're going to get some kind of film or video on the big screen in there, which is cool. So let's go and check out all the memories from the last 75 years and see how many I actually remember from when I was a kid. So just in what was the queue for the 4D cinema, we've got some of the props and old animatronics that were on the Excalibur ride, which were on the lake next to Pirate Adventure. And then all up over here we've got old like press releases and park maps. I am old enough to remember when they opened the Klondike gold mine originally back in 1995, which was a rethemed Pinfari looping coaster. And there's loads of old maps. I remember all of this area. Actually, I don't remember that. I know there was a couple of roller coasters here that I've never seen or known anything about, but I remember all of this other stuff. The Jungle Cruise, vintage cars obviously still here, when they had lions in the zoo. And they've got this as well. I would love one of these in my garden. One of the old cable cars. These are very cool. I think they sell these, but they're like £1,000 or something, so they're very expensive. So how many of you remember when Drayton Manor looked like this? I know my mum and dad will remember when it was like this. You see the edge of the lake there, so that's where the Bounty is now, I believe. Looks like there could have even always been Dodgems over there, and then this is where the Pirate Adventure is. I was hoping we'd see this in here. There's a really cool photo up, a big print out of the Shockwave train in the background and the old nose car off it as well. And then we've got some posters from the 80s. I remember this was one of the most terrifying rides I've ever done. It was a parachute tower, I think it was called Para Tower. And you literally just stood in these baskets, it took you to the top and then just dropped you and a controlled free fall. But it was like the original kind of drop towers, and it was terrifying. That was where Accelerator is now, actually. And then in the 90s, the glory years, we had Pirate Adventure and Shockwave and the Splash Canyon and everything open. So yeah, I like how it's taking you on a journey through the decades. So from what I've only ever seen the old original clock tower and that little building there that's right at the entrance to the park. This is how it all looked when they started. Pretty rundown. Look at the edge of the lake there. It just looks mad. So there, that is where the Jungle Cruise was. I had no idea that the original building here was so grand. Look how stunning that is.
Drayton Manor Park and Zoo on Junction 9 on the M42.
So we've got lots of old adverts playing as well on the screens in here. We've got some old pieces from the carousel, and then all the boards kind of go all around this room with all different concept art. We've got a whole section about the zoo. There's all like explanations about what all the photos are as well on each board. I remember when they had chimpanzees here. And the sea lions. I've been talking about that enclosure in my video a lot recently. And then this is really cool, some old concept art. So this, if you know Pizza Pasta, that's that building. It still looks very similar, and you've still got all the eating area, but all of this got filled in a few years back, which is a real shame. I remember when this was a waterfall, you could go over that bridge, and it literally looked like that with all these little umbrellas over the table. It's very cool. We've got some old stuff here from Shockwave as well. I remember all them signs. There's some ride parts, some of the chain from the lift hill. And then the main film in here is going to be on a roll-in play. Right, takes you right through from the 50s right up to the modern day, and talks about the plans for the future as well, so that's good to see that they've got lots of stuff planned. Out here we've got stuff from Apocalypse. Who remembers these? From the different sides of the drop tower. We've got sections with old maps as well. I've actually got that map. This is like the time when I remember coming here when I was a kid. There was like the log flume, the octopus was my favourite ride, the buffalo was one of my favourites as well. And who's old enough to remember all of these? The original train, the snake train, the cable cars, the dragon. I remember all them. It just shows how old I am. And then we get some of the more modern stuff with the new rides that opened in the late 90s, early 2000s. Who remembers when all the ride-ups on Haunting got to wear these? There's more TVs all around here as well, playing all of the old adverts. You get to see some really cool old rides on there. And then there's all of the old theming from what is now Blasting Barrels. And then round here you've got all the concept art for Vikings. The original building of Shockwave. I remember watching this being built when I was a kid. It's mad to see it back again. You can see this was also built before Stormforce. This is the log flume down in this corner here. There's a bit of glare. And then the rapids and everything was built around the top. There's the old Pinfari looping coaster. And then how it's all been reimagined last year to the Wave. So this is cool. I forgot that it was sponsored by Pepsi. And then over here, right up to the modern day, we've got the concept art for Frontier Falls. So this is how the buildings looked before, and then they transform them into this. There's some extra film theming on top of this. It's a shame we didn't get that, and this is called a restaurant, not a saloon. But on the whole, it very much looks like the concept art. I wish we'd have got a bit more water like that, and there's loads of different names planned for it as well, apparently. This is so impressive to see. There's all the concept art for the buildings from like the 90s. We've got some Thomas stuff down here. And then I don't even know what this bit is. Like, I don't recognise any of that. But you can see all the new entrance when all of that was planned. And then all the concept art for Thomasland as well. I love looking at old photos. And who remembers the Pirate Adventure? I'm still so sad about this ride. It was huge. It was a rip-off of Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean, but they did it so well. The scale of all of this, the animatronics, the sets, everything, it was just incredible. And then on the exit, we've got loads of old signs. So that was really good. It's not a huge museum or anything, but there's ride parts in there. As you've just seen it all. It's just a little trip down memory lane, which is really cool. I've been coming here since the late 80s. My early memories of being here were being on things like the snake train. There was a tractor that pulled you around loads of tight corners. It was terrifying. Going on things like the octopus and the buffalo coaster and the dragon coaster, which was probably one of the first ever coasters I've ever been on. So yeah, very nostalgic to look around everything in there. I just think it's really good that Drayton care enough to do stuff like that. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to clean up all them ride pieces and signs and display them like that, but they've done it and it looks really good, and I definitely recommend checking it out if you come to Drayton Manor this year. I spent the rest of the afternoon going on all my favourite rides at Drayton Manor, and I totally forgot to film an outro. So here we are at home. So yeah, I've had a really good day today. I think the museum is a really nice touch. It's something I think I'd like to see other parks do more of. It'd be nice if they can somehow make it permanent. I do think it's a little bit of a shame that the 4D cinema won't be being used as a 4D cinema whilst the museum's there. I think there's other buildings and other places where they probably could have put it and somehow got a big screen somewhere else or a big TV for the documentary at the end. So I think, yeah, the experience is really good. It's just a shame that we've lost the 4D cinema for that to be in it. It'd be nice to have both side by side. But yeah, I'd love to see them take that and then make it permanent somewhere else. Maybe there's a building around the zoo or somewhere else in the park that they could put it, so it's always there, and then they can keep building on it as well, because they did keep talking today about how they've got more big plans for the future, and this is only just the start. So yeah, it'd be good if they keep collecting all the ride parts and all that sort of stuff and then putting it on display for us all. But yeah, I've had a really good day. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please don't forget to drop it a like and subscribe if you like stuff from Drayton Manor and other theme parks all over the world, because that's kind of what I do here. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.